Okay, so I'm going to start my content placement and CSS stuff real simple. All I want to do is this title here. I guess this page heading called book. I want to change that. So you notice right now our main design, we changed the font, but book, it's the same font as everything else. So we need to make it bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in Dreamweaver from scratch. And I need to modify my template. I'm going to modify my stylesheet.css, and I don't really need to open book.html because I'm not going to modify anything there. So what I want to do here is I'm going to use the span tags. Alright, so let me just show you where I'm going to put them first. So this is my first editable region. So if I highlight it in code view and go to design view, I can see that go to code view. If I highlight the div in code view and go to design view, I can see that that code corresponds to the heading of my page. So what I'm going to do here is on top of this green editable region definition, I'm going to go span. Okay, and at the bottom here, I'm going to go /span. And the stuff and the template, just because I want to make things neat and tidy, I'm going to push it forward one. And the reason why I push this coding forward one, this is actually really important. I totally recommend you do this. Is because what I want to do is I want to see that the template begin editable region and the template end editable region is within the span tag, and that's exactly the same reason why I indented the div and /div, because I want to show that the div is inside of these the begin and the end editable region. Remember that the editable regions are a feature of Dreamweaver and not HTML itself. Okay. Now, exactly what the span tags are, I'm going to show you. Instead of explaining it to you, I'm going to show you by example how they work. If you wanted a real explanation, go to W3 Schools and go to span and go to and that'll take you to this page here, and you can see a short definition of how it works. You can see example, and you can see that its attributes and values and whatnot. Okay. Let me just say one small thing about the span tags is they're a completely useless tag, and they basically do absolutely nothing. The one and only thing that it does, it makes it extremely useful, and you'll see the span tag used everywhere. The span tag makes it easy. In a nutshell, the span tags make it extremely easy for you to apply CSS formatting to almost anything, and that's why they're so powerful. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this span. I'm going to go ID is my equals, and I'm going to create my own name here, title. Alright, so update my pages, sure. Alright, close. Go to my stylesheet.css, and I think in line 4 here, I'm going to type in number sign, title, okay, open squiggly bracket, and then close squiggly bracket. Okay, and then up here I'm going to hit enter, and when I hit enter, you see I get a whole list of possible CSS properties is what they call it in CSS, and I'm going to choose a property called font size because that's what I want to do. So look at all the style and definitions you could change, so many. So I'm going to choose one called font size, and I'm just going to choose 24. Alright, and I push this forward. So CSS, the reason I push it forward again is because I want to show that this property and value definition is within these two brackets. Okay, so when I hit save, alright, when I hit save and I go back to my web browser, okay, I go into my website, and when I go into any one of these pages, okay, well, book is the only one I'm editing. You can see where you can see where it's I have my it changed the font here. So that's exactly what I want. So just because we're on a roll, what I want to do here is I think I'll change this text here so that I want to make it a little bit smaller, and I want to add some line spacing between there to make it look like this. Okay, so let's do that. So in Dreamweaver, in the template, I want to add my span tags again. Alright, so I'm going to go span. Okay, and I'm going to go at the very bottom here, I'm going to go slash span. So you notice I add the span tags. Okay, the first span, the span open HTML tag, I added above the template begin editable region tag, and the end tag for the span tag is below the end of the editable region. So you notice where I put the span tags. Alright, so encompasses, and because of that, I'm going to push this forward. Right. So in this case, I'm going to go span tag, I'm going to go ID equals content. Save it. Okay, update my pages, sure. Okay, now I go to my style sheet.css, and now I need to define what content, what the content is going to look like. So I'm going to go number sign, okay, content, because that's what I called it. Okay, and I'm going to go open squiggly bracket and close squiggly bracket, and go up. Now when I hit enter, you see that it comes up with a list of properties again. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to choose one called font size, because I want to crank down the font size a little bit. So font size, crank this down to, I don't know, make it 12 pixels. Alright, and I want to use something called line height. So I'm looking for one called line height, and I call this one 24 pixels, and just like that. So save my style sheet, and I go back to my browser, F5 to refresh it, and there you have it. Now, not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so what happened here? Actually, I didn't mean to do this. This is totally random. What happened here is I didn't add pixels, so I never told the computer what the units are. So you know how much your science teacher likes it when you don't add the units to your science reports. You know, CSS doesn't like it either. So let's add the proper units at the end here. Let's go back to here, refresh it there. That looks pretty sweet. So actually, you know what? I kind of like this better than I like this one. So let's keep it at that. Right. So you notice that the rest of my pages are the same as well. Okay. So right now I'm just working on the book page. So there you have it. Now what I could also do here is in title. Let's say in my title I'm not quite too thrilled about the way this thing looks, and what I want to do is I think I want to make it boldface and see how it looks. So how I would do, here's how I would do it. So in my I can see here that the title is enclosed by the span tags that is pointing to a CSS coding called title. So I go to my CSS, look for title, and I just hit enter at the end of the line here, and I want to go to let's go font weight. Font weight. When you choose a property, it gives you a whole bunch of values. At the very bottom is bold. All right, and then semicolon at the end. Save it. Okay, and then go back to Dreamweaver. Hit F5, and that's what it looks like when it's bold. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really like it. So I go back to my Dreamweaver. You notice that now all the font, all the rest of the pages, the titles are all bold as well. Okay, so one small change in CSS changes all my pages because they're all linked together. Now if I don't like it, I'm going to comment it out. So I'm going to go /star. You notice that everything turns gray, including all the stuff down here. And then at the end of this line, I go //. Okay, and basically I'm making the computer ignore that CSS coding. Go back to my browser, hit F5, and it's back to normal. Okay. Or what I could possibly do is instead of commenting it out, what I could do is maybe delete this. Okay, and then delete that colon, add another colon, and try something like one of these numbers, 600. Save it. Okay, go back to my browser, F5 to refresh, and I can keep on experimenting that way. Okay.